Welcome back to JoyTube. As we journey in this tale of faith, we will see deception and divine justice. In today's story, we'll see as it reflects our world's situations today and also proves to us that the truth always prevails and there's always a divine justice to every action on earth. As Abraham nearly reaches a century of years, he faces yet another test of famine. Leaving the familiar lands of Mamre, he ventures into Gerar, a land ruled by the Philistines, bringing with him his wife Sarah, whose beauty remains undiminished by time. In this new land, Abraham fears for his life over Sarah's beauty. Remembering past perils in Egypt with Pharaoh the king, he once again devises a plan. Sarah will claim to be his sister, a lie meant to shield him from the deadly desires of foreign rulers. Word of Sarah's beauty reaches Abimelech, king of the Philistines. Deceived by Abraham's claim, Abimelech orders Sarah to be brought to him, intending her to become part of his royal household. As Abimelech sleeps, a divine messenger appears, with sword in hand, revealing Sarah's true status as Abraham's wife, not sister. The king is warned, return Sarah to her husband or face death for himself and his people. By morning, the consequences of Abimelech's unintended sin ripple through Gerar. A severe plague afflicts all, a divine retribution for the king's possession of another man's wife. Confronted by the truth, Abimelech acts swiftly. He returns Sarah to Abraham, and recognizing the gravity of his error, compensates Abraham richly, urging him to pray for the afflicted land. With Abraham's prayer, the plague is lifted. The king and his subjects, now deeply aware of the power of Abraham's God, regard him with newfound respect and fear. In Gerar, Abraham and Sarah continue their journey under divine protection, their faith unshaken. Through deception, danger, and deliverance, their legacy grows, influencing all who witness their covenant with God. Now Sarah, running out of patience, gave her handmaid to her husband to bear children in her stead. Abraham took Hagar, Sarah's maiden, and went into her, and she conceived and bare him a son whom he called Ishmael. As Abraham settles into life in Gerar, a miraculous turn of events unfolds. At the ripe age of 100, Abraham witnesses the fulfillment of a divine promise. Sarah conceives at age 90 and bears him a son, Isaac, igniting celebrations and reaffirming Abraham's faith in his covenant with God. With joy unbounded, Abraham hosts a grand feast to mark Isaac's weaning, a celebration that draws not only local dignitaries but also distant family. Terah, Abraham's father, and Nahor traveled from Haran, sharing in Abraham's happiness, witnessing the growth of a new generation. As Isaac grows, so does Ishmael, who was 13 years older than Isaac, skilled with the bow and accustomed to the freedoms of the wilderness. But beneath the surface, tensions brew, sparked by Ishmael's dangerous game with a bow near young Isaac, observed by a distressed Sarah. Disturbed by Ishmael's actions and fearing for Isaac's safety, Sarah confronts Abraham and asked him to send Ishmael and his bondwoman mother away. Reluctantly, Abraham agrees to her demands. At dawn, he sends Hagar and Ishmael into the wilderness, a painful decision blessed by divine reassurance, but marked by personal sorrow. In the harsh deserts, Ishmael grows into his destiny. Under the watchful care of his mother and later alongside his wife from Egypt, he becomes a formidable archer, his family multiplying in the shadow of his father, Abraham's legacy. Years pass, and the desire to see his first son leads Abraham to Ishmael's tent, and Abraham asked the wife of Ishmael, saying, "Where has Ishmael gone?" And she said, "He has gone to the field to hunt," and Abraham was still mounted upon the camel, for he would not get off to the ground as he had sworn to his wife Sarah that he would not get off from the camel. And Abraham said to Ishmael's wife, "My daughter, give me a little water that I may drink, for I am fatigued from the journey." And Ishmael's wife answered and said to Abraham, "We have neither water nor bread." And she continued sitting in the tent and did not notice Abraham. Neither did she ask him who he was. But she was beating her children in the tent, and she was cursing them, and she also cursed her husband Ishmael and reproached him. And Abraham heard the words of Ishmael's wife to her children, and he was very angry and displeased. And Abraham called to the woman to come out to him from the tent, and the woman came and stood opposite to Abraham, for Abraham was still mounted upon the camel. And Abraham said to Ishmael's wife, "When your husband Ishmael returns home, say these words to him. A very old man from the land of the Philistines came here to look for you, describe his appearance and figure to him, and that you did not ask him who he was. And seeing you were not here, he spoke unto me and said, When Ishmael your husband returns, tell him that the man said, When you come home, put away this nail of the tent which you have placed here, and place another nail in its stead. And after that Ishmael came from the chase, he and his mother, and returned to the tent. And his wife spoke the words of Abraham to him, and Ishmael heard the words of his wife. And he knew that it was his father, and that his wife did not honor him. And Ishmael understood his father's words that he had spoken to his wife, and Ishmael hearkened to the voice of his father. And Ishmael cast off that woman, and she went away. And Ishmael afterwards went to the land of Canaan, and he took another wife, and he brought her to his tent, to the place where he then dwelt. And at the end of 3 years Abraham said, I will go again and see Ishmael my son, for I have not seen him for a long time. And he rode upon his camel, and went to the wilderness. And he reached the tent of Ishmael about noon. And he asked after Ishmael, and his wife came out of the tent, and said, He is not home, my lord, for he has gone to hunt in the fields and to feed the camels. And the woman said to Abraham, Turn in my lord into the tent, and eat a morsel of bread, for your soul must be wearied on account of the journey. And Abraham said to her, I will not stop, for I am in a haste to continue my journey, but give me a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. And the woman hastened and ran into the tent, and she brought out water and bread to Abraham, which she placed before him, and she urged him to eat. And he ate and drank, and his heart was comforted, and he blessed his son Ishmael. And he finished his meal, and he blessed the Lord, and he said to Ishmael's wife, When Ishmael comes home, say these words to him, A very old man from the land of the Philistines came here, and asked after you. And you were not home, and I brought him out bread and water, and he ate and drank, and his heart was comforted. And he spoke these words to me, When Ishmael your husband comes home, say unto him, The nail of the tent which he has is very good, do not put it away from the tent. And Ishmael knew that it was his father Abraham, and that his wife had honored him, and the Lord blessed Ishmael. His encounters with Ishmael's wives over successive visits, first with a wife who fails to show hospitality, then with one who honors him, reflect not only the personal growth of Ishmael's family, but also Abraham's enduring care for his son. Abraham's journey is marked by trials and triumphs, woven through with the threads of divine promise and human frailty. Join us next time as we continue to explore the rich tapestry of these ancient narratives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. This is JoyTube signing out.